How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me. Look where I am. I'm actually at a cottage right now, but we're like doing a writing cottage week.
Whoa, that's rad.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool. Whereabouts in the world are you?
Uh, well, I'm in Canada,
Oh,
um,
wow.
but we're up in the Kawartha area. It's like 3.5 hours away from where I live.
Okay.
So honestly, I've literally been like away from my house for a pretty long time now, and I'm adapting to it. This is very nice here. And it's cool
It
to write in such a
looks beautiful.
environment. Like it's all just windows. It rained this morning while we were writing, which was like a really cool vibe.
Wow.
Yeah, could not get a better place.
That is so rad. And you're just
Yeah,
there with some other people that write with
yeah,
you?
actually here with the people who did lots of music on the first project and lots of music on the second project. And so basically just like our whole immediate team is here. It's pretty fun.
That's awesome. Are you originally from Canada?
I am, yeah. I actually still live where I am originally from. But
What do you
yes,
do? Where's that?
I live 2 hours outside of like a very popular city, Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's called Blue Mountain. So yeah, I live there. I commute back and forth to Toronto sometimes, most of the time for work.
Mm-hmm.
My whole family's there, and then I come to the States a lot for work as well. But since we couldn't go to LA for like a writing week, we were like, why don't we just come to a cottage instead?
Sure. That's awesome.
It was a good time to go.
Yeah, good way to like make do of what is currently going on, I guess, too. That's awesome. Yeah, so thank you so much for doing this. Our podcast is about your journey in the music industry and how you got to where you are now.
Sweet.
Yeah. So how did you get into music originally?
Okay, so I started off as a dancer. I was never, first of all, I was never into sports, but I started off as a dancer, slowly moved on to piano, and I did piano repertoire, so I was doing exams. I went up to until grade 6, and meanwhile I was dancing and eventually started to introduce some singing into my hobby thing, after
Mm-hmm.
school activities. And then I just started kind of doing community events, whether it was like playing the piano and singing or like dancing and singing. And once I like started to get more into that stuff, I was like, okay, like I think I really want to do this as something more than just a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's when I started to take it really seriously. I went back into like training for piano. Um, I went back into, more vocal training. I stepped up my game a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've always been into like musical theater, kind of the arts area. My whole life. I had never been into sports, like I said. So I think it just kind of naturally happened, like just from the beginning when I was put into dance, then piano, then singing. I think that all just led up to how it all started.
Right on. Well, I want to talk to you about performing and stuff. So you said you were in musical theater and you were in dancing. When was the first time that you performed, like, you sang in front of people?
I first sang in front of people when I forgot to mention this, I was a Celtic dancer as well. So I did a Celtic dance. And I had to do a dance recital, but my teacher had to fill in 5 minutes of like something. She didn't know what. And so I stepped out, I was like, I'll sing. And she's like, okay, sure. I don't know. So she let me sing. My parents didn't think I had ever been interested in singing like that because this was before I was doing singing community events and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of performing for my family and whatnot. So my parents were like, what? She's singing. And so they were a little nervous. I was 7, I think,
Oh,
7, yeah.
wow,
Um,
that's really young.
and I sang Over the Rainbow by Judy Garland. And funny enough, my friend's dad who worked with Taylor Swift was behind my dad and was like, hey, like I think your daughter like is gonna pursue something in like music one day. And my dad's like, okay, whatever. And then like now, this is it. So yeah, that was my first time ever singing.
Oh
and my
my.
parents had no clue I ever wanted to sing. So that
Well,
was like a surprise.
well, tell me about this guy that was behind your dad. So he worked with Taylor Swift.
So yeah, so I don't know how, I forget how, but he somehow worked with Taylor Swift. Like I'd go to their houses and they had like records like on the wall of just all the Taylor albums.
Like gold records.
Yeah, I was like the biggest fangirl of Taylor as well, still am. So
Yeah, same
that
here.
was
I
like
think
a big
Folklore
moment.
is the best record she's ever put out. Have you heard the new one?
Yes, I did. It's really, really good.
Oh my,
Um,
it's epic.
so yeah, that was that was like a big moment just because like I was such a big fan of her. So to hear that like come from someone who works firsthand with her was like crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So he saw you sing. And then when did you start like writing songs? Like you're in a writing session right now. When did you start writing?
I started writing when I was 14. Actually, I Try was the first song I ever wrote in my life.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
And I was really sick that day. I remember just being really sick and um, didn't want to go to this session. First of all, I was really scared of my producer for, I don't know why. Um, but I was like, Mom, like, I really don't want to go. Like, I'm really sick. And she's like, Anna, you have to go. Like, come on, this could be a great experience. And I was like, mainly didn't want to go because I was really scared. Um, Great thing that I went because now it's like my producer and I are like best friends and we write together all the time. So very thankful that I was pushed to go. But yeah, that was my first time that I ever wrote a song. So I was 14.
Wow. So you were 14 when you wrote I Try. And how old were you when you released that first EP? Because did it come out this year also?
It did, yeah. Let me.
Okay.
I think I was 16, so I'm 16 right now.
So
Um,
you were 16 when you put out Self-Aware Bitch.
yes,
And then you have another. What about Broken Perfection? Was that the first one you put out or second?
second EP,
Okay. So you
and
have two out in a year. Wow.
yeah, it was really cool, and I think that's the reason why I like doing EPs, just because it gives you a chance to release more in like a smaller period of time.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, two EP releases this year, which has been great.
Okay. Wow. So I Try was the first song you wrote.
Yes.
And how did you gain the attention of record labels? Like, what was the next thing that happened for you?
So I'd written more music, and the first song that we released was Meaner Girl.
Hmm.
Um, and Meaner Girl was um, the kind of the start. It was I released it, and then had some record labels hit me up, and we'd send them like more music, and we'd see what they'd think and all that. But
Hmm.
um, one day, Electric Feel, who I'm with right now, found me on SoundCloud. And
Oh.
yeah, it was crazy. So they found me on SoundCloud, and we were like eyeing that label down, and it was crazy because they hit me up on like my parents' email. Don't know how they found it, but um, yeah. So it was just after releasing a song, I got some attraction, and then we'd send them the new music. But we felt that um, Electric Feel and Republic Records were like a really really good fit, just because we all had such a good feeling about the music. So that's how it all came about.
Whoa. So they just found, did they find Meaner on online? Is that the one that
Yeah,
attracted them?
yeah.
And did it just have like a ton of plays? Like how did they know about it?
It really didn't even have many plays. It was really strange. I don't know how they found it. I think it was like could have been on a playlist
Hmm.
because it was released on a Friday, and like a lot of playlists um take songs that are released on Fridays and stuff like that. I
Hmm.
honestly don't know. I honestly don't know at all. It's crazy to me like how they found me on SoundCloud on a Friday.
Wow. Yeah. That is
Yeah.
awesome. But that's great. I mean, geez, you signed to Universal Music. That's massive. Like
Yeah.
have you played a show or had you played shows that prior to that?
Yes, I've done a lot of shows.
Hmm.
Nothing yet for the new music. Um, but I can't wait to get back on stage just to perform. I'm very excited. Like I'm very sad that like it's kind of like, obviously we can't perform now, but hopefully we can do like some drive-in shows because those are always fun as well. Just to get another chance to like perform again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. So did you get to perform on at least like the first, like the Self-Aware Bitch EP or no?
No, we didn't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because the Self-Aware Bitch EP released February 7th.
Mm-hmm.
And that was already when COVID kind of
Yeah, it was just kind of
was still
peeking
kind of,
peeking its
yeah,
head
it
out.
was
Yeah.
yeah. So I released it. That was like I was wearing a mask in the plane still, all that stuff. So never got a chance, but you know, there's nothing we can do. And I'm very excited. I mean, I've performed a lot on like live streams and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as like a quarantine kind of performance. But I really can't wait to get back out there and just perform in
Do you
person.
enjoy the live stream concerts, or are they just kind of?
I do. I really like them actually. It's cool because I think everyone can kind of join together, and you know, even if you don't know each other, it's still a good experience just to all be together and enjoy music.
Mm-hmm.
So I did really enjoy them, and I did enjoy having the people on there and being able to interact with them and sing for them. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
I really.
Well, so not. I mean, during quarantine, you've released two, not one, but two EPs. Like,
Yeah,
did you think about like waiting, or you just like, I want to just get this out of here? Like, how did, like, putting out Broken Perfection, like, when did that come out? That must have just came out.
that came out. Well, it came out July 31st, so like
Okay, so
maybe ago, about around that. It was
it
not
was
that.
about 6 months in between the two records then.
Yeah.
Okay. It just
We
seems like a lot because it's been close, you know, it's 2020 and we've all been stuck inside the whole time.
I know. I know, it's so weird. But I think that's like a good time to release, just to make people feel happy. I find like music makes me really happy. So people releasing right now for me personally is like so great because it's like it's another source to be happy and to entertain myself, and you know, oh, new music, like great, I'm going to be listening to this nonstop because I'm not
Mhm.
doing anything. So I think I wanted to give that to my followers and just, you know, give them some more music to enjoy during quarantine.
Mhm.
Is what else are we gonna do right now?
Totally. Well, like, were the songs on Broken Perfection, did you have some of those written prior to like Self-Aware Bitch, or did you have all the songs for Self-Aware Bitch and you're like, okay, these are going to go on the EP, and then you started writing what then became this most recent one, Broken Perfection? Or were there a handful of songs that you kind of had to decide which one you wanted to put it on?
We wrote Self-Aware Bitch before. And then as soon as we finished that EP and knew what songs were going to be on there, we went for the next idea.
Okay.
But to keep in mind that Self-Aware Bitch EP was written when I was 14 going on to 15.
Uh-huh.
And then through 15, I wrote a lot of the Broken Perfection EP. So these songs I've been waiting to release for like a long time now. Not
Sure.
all of them. Like either way, I wrote in January. So it's kind of a mix. Like there's been a lot of them that have been written like a long time ago, and then a lot of them that were written like
Early on, or
yeah,
recently enough.
yeah,
Okay. So everything that was on Self-Aware Bitch you wrote when you were like 14, 15, and then some of the stuff on Broken Perfection are a bit newer.
yes.
Got it. Okay. I love the album cover for the new one for Broken Perfection. You're like a porcelain doll, right? And you're cracked up.
Yes.
That's a rat. How'd you come up with that concept?
When I heard Broken Perfection and like thought about it a bit more, I was like, what can like describe Broken Perfection visually? So I thought of the idea of a doll because dolls are supposed to be this perfect figure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I wanted to make it kind of literal and say, take something that is supposedly perfect and smash it.
it.
So we took I'm gonna be the doll, and then I'm gonna have a cracked face, almost like I've been broken. So
Mhm.
I literally just was like, how literal can I make this? And I was like, broken doll. And that's literally how I came up with
Yeah, it
it.
looks great. I think yeah, the artwork is really cool.
Thank you. I
Um,
was definitely, that was like my pride and joy. That was like my baby. Everyone was like laughing because I was like, if we don't do this, like you guys know, like I'm gonna be heartbroken forever. So we did it. It all went so well, and I'm very happy.
Very cool. With these batch of songs, was your process any different? Like, you're a little bit older. Like the stuff were writing about on Self Aware Bitch, is that similar to what you're doing on Broken Perfection?
For sure. It definitely is, because I think the difference between Self-Aware Bitch and Broken Perfection was kind of, in my personal opinion, I feel like I've grown within the two EPs. So I feel like music wise, I've grown. I've stepped out of the box a bit more. I tried new sounds. And lyrically, I decided to get deeper as I got closer with the people that I work with.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to kind of open up to people when you don't really know them and just pour your soul out to them. So as I got more comfortable with the people I started working with, and as I got more comfortable with pouring my soul out,
Mm-hmm.
I found that lyrically I was able to get deeper and explain more personal things. So I think it was just almost like it was just a sign of growth
Mm-hmm.
through both piece. But yeah, and I started to work with different people, traveling to LA. There are lots of different people on the projects, like Jeff Kleinman or Weston Weiss. Um, so we also had like Carter Lang. So it was really cool to work with all these people, because they're people that I've always looked up to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, sort of have them on my EP is nuts to me. Um, but yeah, so I started to open up a bit more musically and lyrically, and started to work with a lot of different people.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about going to LA for the first time and being in these writing sessions. Was that intimidating? Was it exciting?
Oh, yeah, it was very scary at first. I mean, I had started to go to LA even first EP. Like I was introducing myself to new people then.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Duke was on Self War Bitch, which was like, I can't even explain how crazy that is to me. So Frank Dukes was on. That we had like one other person, so we had just been writing with the same people. We got Frank Dukes on Self War Bitch. This EP got more people, and it was honestly like an amazing experience, just because they're they were people that I look up to, and they were people like I'm familiar with the music that they've made.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool. It was like a dream come true. I was like starstruck a bit.
Wow. Well, Frank Dukes is from the Canada, isn't he, originally?
Yeah,
Oh,
Frank
and
Dukes is from
was he from?
Toronto.
I'm sorry.
Frank Dukes is from Toronto. He had a studio right down the street from the studio that I usually record at. So
Oh,
um,
is that where you worked with him, or did he come down to LA?
no, he lives in LA right now. So we went to his house and worked with him. My producer and I, Jeff Hazen, he's like on every project and every song.
Mm-hmm.
So we went down to LA and worked with him, and same for Broken Perfection EP. Jeff and I went down and worked with so many different people. So yeah.
Wow. And then because he wrote on like even the new Taylor Swift record.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, not the
on.
new one, but on Lover, he was on that
Yeah,
record. Wow.
yeah, it
So
was crazy. There were
that's
just so many,
awesome.
Frank Ocean
Oh
and
yeah, he
all these,
Mac Miller. He's worked with like everybody.
and Jeff Kleinman, who we worked on Either Way with.
Uh-huh.
I go to his studio, and I was like, I knew of him. I knew who he worked with. He worked with Frank Ocean a lot. He did Chanel with Frank Ocean. He did a couple other songs. And then he also tells me that he worked on like a lot of the Beyonce stuff. And I was like, hold on a
Whoa.
second. Beyonce? So yeah, it's crazy to me, because the songs that I listen to, it's like now I've worked with people that have worked on these.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that must be so like validating and amazing. Oh, wow. And okay, so the new record, the Broken Perfection, is out. You're in a studio now. Are you working on new stuff? Like what's going on now with you?
New stuff.
Okay.
We've been working on new stuff for a bit now. So we just wrote a song a couple hours ago. We're writing another song tonight. It's a week, so we're like, let's get a lot of work done. So we're doing 2 songs a day, just banging out a lot of music. I mean, it's a great feeling to have new music to listen to and new music to work on. So this is all new music in the process of creating another project to release soon.
Rad. Very cool. Do you have a lot of material that you still had from maybe the earlier Broken Perfection stuff, or is this all like you've just been writing since COVID?
No, we actually, while we were in the middle of writing for a bit of the Broken Perfection EP, we were also writing for new music. So we have some from the time of Happy For You, which was like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
We have some from January, and then the rest is COVID.
Wow. Well, that's exciting. So you're going to have probably by the end of this another, at least an EP to put out.
Yeah.
And then hopefully tour on the early stuff as well.
For sure. Yeah, we're planning on getting out there like as soon as we can. We're planning some drive-in shows, different things like that, just so we can get out somehow. Oh,
so you do have some drive-in stuff in the works?
We have some in the works, nothing planned for sure yet, but definitely like, ready to go. We've been rehearsing with the band all the time. So we're like ready to go.
Right on. That's awesome. Aside from writing, have you been doing anything else during the quarantine, or just trying to write as much as you can?
I actually was like the biggest hater for reading. I don't know why. I just tend to hate, like I've never liked reading. All of a sudden, I was like, why don't I read about something that actually interests me? Like not something for school. So I started to read biographies on different artists and different people that I admire. I'm currently reading, I think it's called Moonwalk, for the Michael Jackson biography.
Oh, sure.
And it's so cool. And they've got like photos. I love picture books. They've got photos of him when they were younger with his family. So it's really cool. So I've started to enjoy reading a lot, which I never thought would happen in my lifetime. Like I didn't think I'd ever say that. And painting, even though I'm not very good at it, it's like relaxing. So I paint pottery or I paint canvases.
Very cool. That's awesome. Well, you brought up school. I was going to ask you about this. I forgot to. So you were 14, 15, 16, like, and you get signed to a major label. Like, tell me about that at like school. Was your family like, okay, you don't need to go to class anymore. Let's pursue the music career?
No, we wanted to keep on school just because school's very important to have.
Right. Were you just doing like homeschool type thing?
I was doing half homeschool, half at school, and I still do half homeschool, half at school.
Okay.
I might have an exam like this week at the cottage, so we're still figuring that out. But
well, I guess nobody can go back right now, right? So everybody would be online anyway.
Fun fact, I'm going back in September because where I live in a small town, so there's no cases. So it's mandatory mask. We're going to class for 4 hours. So it's, and we're going to split up the classes so there's not as many kids at the school. But yeah, I'm actually very excited because I never thought I'd say this. I miss school a lot. I miss it a lot. Like I haven't seen any of my friends. I've been really bored. I've really been sticking to my word of staying home and just being super careful. So just to keep myself and my family safe. So
sure.
I limited myself to very few people for certain purposes like work. But yeah, I definitely miss my friends a lot.
That must be pretty cool though, to be, you're signed to a label, you've got all these millions of streams, and like, kids at your school probably probably get a kick of that, I would think, right?
Yeah, but the good thing is that nobody treats me differently. It's like I'm still ordinary me. It's just their friend Anna, rather than like a singer. And I
Yeah.
like that because it gives me a chance to just go back to a normal high school life. And if that life changed, then I think it would also affect writing because I write all about high school.
Oh,
Not having an ordinary high school experience would definitely mess with my writing process.
sure.
That's also one reason why we wanted to keep school in the picture, was just because that's my main source of inspiration.
Inspiration, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm also almost done. Like I have one more year and then I'm done. So might as well get some more knowledge for a year and then peace.
Totally. Do you have any songs that I'm sure you do? Does anyone at your school, are they like, hey, that song's about me? Like,
Yeah, I've exposed myself actually. It's about you. I'm so sorry. This song's about you. Really sorry about that.
that's
um,
funny.
No Fun was written about a party I went to. It was actually my birthday party that was shared with my friends. And the lyrics are so legit that it's like all of my friends laughed because they were all at this party. So I said, broke a window and a heart or two. Someone legit broke a window. Like, done. So it gives, everyone loves it just because it's such a funny experience, because everyone else, all of these people have experienced my songs, because every time something happens, I'm always with friends. So they get a kick out of it for sure.
That's awesome. Really cool. Well, thank you so much, Anna, for talking with me today. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
I enjoyed this.
I have another question for you. One more.
Okay.
I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
I say don't give up at all. Keep trying no matter what. Still, focus on things that are very important, like school if you're still in it, or work, whatever. And one more thing, release on every platform that you could possibly find, because you don't know who's watching. Like I didn't know that, SoundCloud was going to get me a record deal. So you just always have to release on every single platform, because your platform could be Spotify, or your platform could be Apple Music or SoundCloud or whatever. So that's like my one main piece, is just get your music out wherever you can possibly find it.